2. Purdy got a 1. Goes end zone. Hat trick. Kittle's first 3-touchdown game of his NFL career.
You know, just being able to practice with him and Brock's, his consistency is what's really helpful. Also, being able to see Vernon pregame. I think he told me to score 3 to tie his record. So I was like, oh, fine, Vern, I'll do it. I'll tell Brock. No, Brock's just so consistent every single day. He's the same guy he is on Wednesday as he is on Sunday. He's super detailed. He's super confident. It's everything you want in a quarterback. And he's just playing at such a high level right now. And I think really the best thing he does, you guys see it, he's just his ability to move in the pocket and keep his eyes up and see things develop. And so if he doesn't hit you like, where he's supposed to, he sees the second window. He's just very, very good at that.
Now, back to the morning roast with Bonte and Shasky.
Brock Purdy, that was from George Kittle last night as he scored 3 touchdowns, 3 catches, 67 yards, all 3 catches resulting into touchdowns. Brock Purdy, 17-24, 4 touchdown passes, a career high for 252 yards. And the question I have for everybody was last night the night where Brock Purdy convinced you that he's the guy in San Francisco, that he's the guy you roll with not only this year, but next year and the year after. Maybe you found the guy that we're all looking for. We thought it was Jimmy Garoppolo. We tried to throw our arms around him. Didn't work out for obvious reasons. Health-wise, decision-making, throws that he couldn't make, big playoff letdowns. Trey Lance, whether or not you think he didn't get a fair shot to play, he got hurt and left the door open for Brock Purdy. And when he came back in that preseason game, he did not look like he was ready to play an NFL football game. So you had to move on from him. It sucks. It was heartbreaking to see him yesterday wearing a Dallas Cowboy uniform. I like Trey a lot, but it is what it is with Brock Purdy. This guy has won 10 straight games to start his career in the regular season. He's tied with Mike Tomczak and Mike Livingston for back in the day with the Kansas City Chiefs. Roethlisberger's number 1 15 straight wins. Purdy's won 10 straight. McCaffrey, Shasky, has scored a touchdown in 11 straight regular season games. 14 overall when you include the postseason. And he got bottled up yesterday. George Kittle scored the 3 touchdowns. But Brock Purdy, he stole the show, Shasky.
Yeah.
With all these stars that were on the field yesterday, it was Brock Purdy who ended up stealing the show.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, you and I, we're 2 guys, right, that have loved the Niners and watched it from day one, right? Mm-hmm. But there are people that we look to and we listen to what they say. Like, we have Brian Bouldering on every single week because he's a freaking expert. He knows these things. And so I was talking with the San Ramon coach who sits next to me, the offensive line coach there, great guy. And he goes, I listen to Baldy every week. And the thing that him and I are in total agreement with, because he studies this. This is what he does. He's been a coach for 40 years. The footwork with Purdy is unbelievable. So then me and Coach are just going through. This is Sugar Hill Gangs playing at halftime.
That was pretty good.
It was really
fun?
good.
They were jamming.
And we're talking, and the speaker's so loud I couldn't even hear anything last night. But we're talking, and he goes, remember that DVD they sent out? And I'm like, yeah. And we're talking about Bill Walsh. There was this DVD the Niners sent out to season ticket holders in like 2005 and 2006.
Right.
And we're going way back. And it's Bill Walsh retired with retired Roger Craig, retired Jerry Rice, and retired Joe Montana, and they're just running routes. And Bill is just talking about the footwork and everything. He goes, I would just look at the feet and I could know whether it was going to be a completed pass or not based off your footwork. And I'm watching Brock Purdy's footwork. And then we know the brain's there, the touch, the arm angles. He's got all those things. The feet. He's got unbelievable feet, and it sets himself up to make good throws, accurate throws into tight windows that only he can see. And his ability as he's processing to simultaneously move the feet the way he does, I'm telling you, he's got middle infielder feet.
So my old offensive coordinator, also a coach, played football at UC Davis as a safety, quarterback at Washington High School. Ryan Miller. This is after week 2, and I keep going back to this.
Give it to me.
He goes, incredible game. That MF Purdy has feet like a tap dancer. Him and Gregory Hines would have a good dance-off. He needs to be healthy throughout the season. That's it. That's all. And I was like, boy, feet like Gregory Hines. And when you look at the feet, they're calm. They're quiet in the pocket, like Brady, like Montana. But like the great ones. They're quick. But the way he positions his feet. When he was off on that throw against the L.A. Rams down at SoFi Stadium, remember he missed Deebo Samuel, who was behind him, and one expert pointed out, look at his feet. They're too far to the right. They're pointed to the right. You can see the completion there. So with his footwork there, not panicking in the pocket, not having the happy feet. You know, there's a difference between having happy feet and calm feet. Happy feet, you're like, your footwork's all over the place. You're scrambling around. You're like, well, what am I doing here? Your mechanics are all off. His mechanics stay sound. They're tight. You know what I'm saying? And so when he's sitting there with the calm feet and the mechanics are there and he's not looking to run, the eyes stay downfield no matter what. Even when he scrambles out the pocket, he's looking downfield, looking downfield.
How many Niner quarterbacks, on the first touchdown to Kittle, how many Niner quarterbacks, I think Kaepernick's one of them, and even Alex Smith, how many are just going to run there in that situation?
Right. And
I'm just going to run, take my 3 or 4 yards, slide down.
Baldy said something last week. And he'll join us tomorrow. I can't wait to get his take on his game. He said the thing with Jimmy, the difference between Jimmy and Brock is when the play got deeper and deeper. You get to the 3rd second,
He's
4th
100%
second, the
correct.
5th second. Jimmy got rattled. And he started throwing it up. We see it in the Raiders a couple weeks ago where he's pointing at Devontae Adams. And we'll see Jimmy tonight against the Green Bay Packers where he's pointing one way and it's like, oh, I'm going to throw the no throw instead. Purdy, when it gets to 3, 4, 5 seconds, it's almost like the play's just starting.
100%.
It's like, okay, now let's play football. This is what I do. And so that's been the most impressive aspect of everything. 1, he doesn't get squared up on a lot. 2, he continues to keep his eyes down the field. And 3, all the questions about the velocity and throwing the ball down the field. What else do you guys need to see? You guys still complaining about those deep ball incompletions against the Rams? Are we still complaining about that?
No.
Please tell me you're not.
There's nothing to complain about. How about the way he feels pressure on the backside and just little quick boom, boom. Let me hitch, bang. Let me hit somebody. Hitch, bang. And Kittle talking about windows.
Yeah.
This guy sees the windows. He sees where the safety is. He sees where the linebacker is. He understands zone coverage. He very rarely gets fooled.
Right.
I mean, very rarely gets fooled.
It's crazy because you were at the Tampa Bay game last year against Brady. And when he went on one, he got into a zone, and next thing you know, it was 35-7 at halftime, and I'm sitting there like, oh, my God, they're chanting Purdy. And it's like, I'm telling you, this guy's the next Brady. She's losing her mind, and everybody's losing their mind that day. Again, when he gets into a zone.
Oh, he's the...
So that third quarter drive that you're highlighting to make it 28-10, and that's the thing.
It was unbelievable.
I think one thing that's going to get lost, too, is whenever they scored last night, or whenever these teams score against the 49ers, the Niners always answer.
They always
answer.
respond.
So last night, they responded last night 21-10. Cowboys have to settle for 3. They're a little disappointed, but you needed a drive there.
Yep.
You needed a drive to put them away. And that was magical.
I mean, B, you have a lot of elite playmakers.
Right.
And they got egos. You hear anybody pissed off that the ball's not touching them?
Nobody is. No, and Brock Purdy touched on that last night. He goes, nobody's walking up to me saying, hey, man, I was open right there. They're just getting back in the huddles like, all right, let's continue to roll. Like George Kittle's not complaining yet.
No.
And he has, even yesterday, he only had 4 targets.
I mean, Ayuk, Debo, the team is so freaking loaded. And we haven't even talked about the defense. I think their defense might be the best part of their team.
Yeah, I know.
That's the crazy thing. It's like we're stuck on the offense, and the offense is awesome. The defense is elite. Fred Warner is unbelievable. Drake Greenlaw is unbelievable. Bosa finally busted. I mean, with a sack last night. He's been great. He's third in pressure.
I mean, so what are people complaining about?
The third most times.
No, but see, I think this is a year where the offense may be a bit better than the defense. And that's saying a lot.
Bonte, they haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher
in
forever.
32 games. It's been 32 games and counting.
I didn't think anybody would be better than that 2011 Niner defense. This feels better.
Fred Warner, right now, is playing as well as Patrick Willis played in his prime.
I know, and people are afraid to say it.
No, I'm not afraid to say it.
But why are we afraid?
Because we love Patrick Willis so much that we don't want to,
no, but that's
denigrate our
Fred.
legends or what. No.
But that's praising Fred.
Fred is playing as well.
I agree.
As any linebacker I've seen put on a 49er uniform in the last 30,
He's
40
a legend.
years.
He's put 5 years of what I deem to be all-pro tape out year after year after year, game after game. He misses no time. Fred is a superstar.
Ball skills, the ability to hunt his prey.
The punch-outs.
Not going for pump fakes with Dak Prescott. Punching out the football against Tony Pollard. He's a ball hawk. He's hitting. He's covering 50 yards down the field. He's trying to guard Brandon Cooks down the field.
He's guarding Jake Ferguson in the flat.
Right.
And he
got beat on that play.
But he slips just a little, and everyone's like, damn it, you got to make that play.
Right.
No linebacker in the league's making that play.
But no, later on in the game, he's running down the seam against Brandon Cooks.
He's
50 yards down the field.
He's unreal.
So Fred Warner, look, I thought Pittsburgh, he went out and told everybody, I'm gunning for the DPLY with that hit on Najee Harris. Now, do I think he's going to get DPOI? We're a long way away from that. And TJ Watt is having game after game after game and carrying the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watt is literally carrying them to wins.
Fred's right there.
Fred's right there.
He's right there.
He's right there. Greenlaw's not far off.
Greenlaw's been amazing. How about the hit on the underneath pass to the running back where he just splattered him? And then
you're talking about another guy. That was the guy.
And then he
that's what I'm talking about. No, that was Tony Pollard. That's what I'm thinking about. He just body slammed Tony Pollard.
God.
Didn't have to, but just did it just because he's Drake Greenlaw.
And then Dak, right before halftime. Dak, what do you think's going to happen when you roll out to the side? Well, you don't think Drake Greenlaw's going to close out?
Dude, I mean, it's unbelievable.
Drake Greenlaw's so sick.
The safeties, Hufanga and Gibson Jr.
Plays.
Well, Gibson, and last night we didn't have to talk about the corners except Isaiah Oliver. It's still an area of need, but I thought Charvarius Ward held up well. I thought Deommodore Lenoir's playing his best football right now.
Charvarius Ward had to break up down
against
the
Michael
sideline.
Gallup.
He boxed the guy into the sideline and then made a great play on the ball.
He used the sideline as an extra defender. That was his guy to double team. The sideline. The sideline helped double team Michael Gallup.
And I thought Deommodore Lenoir had a solid game.
Well, I just said that. Deommodore Lenoir's playing his best football.